as everyone isn't going grocery shopping as often during these times, and also it's just something kind of fun to do. It also uses scraps that normally would be put into the compost, and we are also reusing containers that we would normally recycle. So a lot of these things you'll already have at home. So here we're going to be trying to grow so the green onions. These are little baby bok choy. This is celery and a bit more bok choy. Same thing. This one's lettuce. It has some roots attached to it, but even if you have romaine lettuce, like the ends of it without any roots, you can still regrow it in the water. And we're also going to be doing the onion. So the general idea is you'll cut off the part that you normally wouldn't eat. So this is like the end of the green onion with the roots, and you put it in a bit of water, pretty much just enough to cover the roots in a little bit, and you just put it in an area with lots of sun, and you watch it grow. For stuff like green onions, it'll grow fully and you can just use it from the water. For other stuff like bok choy or with the celery or the lettuce, you can replant it after it's sprouted and it'll grow into a bigger plant. Kind of a little update on them. As you can see, they've grown pretty well, I think, and they're all sprouting a little bit. So this is the celery, the bok choy, more bok choy, more bok choy. We worked off the scraps that we had, and then the green onion has grown a lot. It's been 2 weeks, and we just made sure to change the water daily, just to make sure that they were growing properly. So this is 2 weeks of growth. The onion hasn't grown too much, but I knew this one would take a little bit longer. So I think the green onion we'll just use from this, maybe in one of our recipes that we'll film later on. So you can just snip it and use it as it is. If you wanted to, you could plant them to grow onions, but I think, yeah, we'll just use them in our cooking. For these ones, I wanted to kind of experiment and see if they would regrow fully in the water, but I'm going to replant the celery and see how that grows in some dirt. So I'm Sunny from the ALC. I'm a recreational programmer at North York Senior Center. So I'm back today to film a video for you with some updates with our planting, like growing veggie scrubs video. So as you can see here, they've grown quite a bit. So these ones here are the baby bok choy that we've planted, and actually these have grown a little bit too much, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, so these 5 are the bok choy that we grew from the scraps. This is our celery. It's growing a lot slower, but you can tell that it's growing because you can see the little shoots in the middle. So it looks like this one's going to take a bit longer. And then these are the green onions that we were growing in the water as well from the scraps. And we can use that as well. We just planted them in the soil also. You can see the little sprouts too. Those Johnny planted, and those are our tomato plants that he got from some dried tomato seeds that he dried up. So yeah, so we're gonna harvest some of this stuff today. So for these ones, for the bok choy, and I think for the green onions and stuff, if you harvest it and you kind of cut it like above the root, then they should hopefully grow again, as long as you water them and take care of them. So I'm going to harvest one of these. So I'm going to try to cut it like close to the bottom. Try to be careful as possible. And then I'm just gonna cut off these other leaves that I couldn't get to. Okay. Yeah, so I think just leave a good enough chunk that it should be able to grow back. And hopefully if we keep watering it and taking care of it, it should get big again. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I let these grow a little bit too big. I didn't anticipate that they grow so fast outside, but they are still edible. I think if you let it grow a little bit too long, the leaves get a bit more bitter. But again, they're still edible. I'm sure they're still pretty tasty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take off the leafy parts, and then we'll be able to eat those. I think this stem is a little bit tough. I think it's probably kind of like a broccoli stem. So I'm not going to eat that part, or maybe if you shave off kind of the hard part, you can eat the inside like a broccoli stem. So we'll eat all those. The flowers apparently are edible, apparently they're edible, but I think once they flower, they're probably not so tasty. So I'm just gonna leave that part and not eat it, just to be safe. So yeah, so we have a good little harvest here from one of the plants. So we still have 4 more that I'll harvest as well, and we'll have a bunch of like baby bok choy to eat. For the green onions, I'm just gonna use a pair of scissors. I think it's the easiest way to do it. You can do it with a a knife. But I'm just going to cut it again, kind of leaving enough at the bottom. So I'm kind of cutting it at the joint here where there's a bunch of different sprouts. Yeah, and then you can use that as you normally would a green onion. And again, we're going to keep watering the root, and hopefully we should see it grow up again and we can keep using it throughout the summer. Okay, thank you everyone.